Hey there, basketball fans. Welcome back to the Dunk Dynasty Hoop Show. I'm Craig.
I'm Brad.
Today we're actually going to be talking about our kind of predictions for the NBA playoffs, East and West.
So some of these matchups we're just trying to have some fun with. So don't come at us thinking, I said that the Knicks are going to end up in the playoffs. We're just trying to go with some fun little narratives. Yes, that is a spoiler. The Knicks will be in the playoffs in my predictions. But we're just trying to have a little bit of fun here with some fun little narratives, keep it lighthearted. So yeah, let's dive in.
Yeah, mine are a little more serious than his apparently because he's got the Knicks going to the playoffs. But
Knicks fans, it can happen.
Start out West. No, let's start out East. The West is going to be more intriguing anyway, so let's save the best for last.
All right.
All right. For my 1 seed, I've got the Bucks, and I've got them playing Toronto. So in the first round, we get last year's conference finals match.
And that would be a diminished Toronto team that's still going to be pretty good against the Bucks, who at worst will be the 2 seed in the East. So yeah, I think the Bucks will yam it on.
Who'd you put for your 1 seed?
All right, I've got Philly as the 1 seed, and they're going to be playing the aforementioned New York Knicks. So the reason I picked this matchup is Philly has all the power forwards and centers, and the Knicks proceeded to sign all the power forwards and centers. So I'm really excited for playoff lineups where Marcus Morris and
Kevin Knox,
and hold on, who else did they sign? Taj Gibson. Man, seeing those guys go up against Embiid, seeing them go up against Ben Simmons, I want 2 lineups of 5 power forwards on the court at all times during that series. Knicks in 5. I'm just kidding about that part. That's a joke.
Hypothetical series, because that's not happening.
So you think?
Yeah. Okay, number 2. I have got Philly playing against Miami.
The Jimmy Bowl.
Jimmy Butler, the Jimmy Bowl. Crazy Jimmy coming back with Miami to face his former team. Although, might not be that big of a narrative since he was only there for 3 months.
Oh, Jimmy makes narratives. That'll be narrative.
That's true.
That'll be narrative. I think that'll be a fun series, and it's pretty realistic. In my 2-7 matchup, I've got Milwaukee going up against Indiana, the more low-key but still pretty important Brogdon Bowl. I think Malcolm Brogdon going from Milwaukee to Indiana is going to cause a really interesting dynamic. Obviously, Milwaukee's going to roll, but Brogdon's going to light him up for 30 one of those games.
Okay.
At least.
How about you go with 3 first?
All right, the 3-6. I've got the Boston Celtics facing off against Toronto. I'm calling this the Lovers Spurned series. Obviously, Toronto lost Kawhi. Boston lost Kyrie. I think that it will be a good series filled with teams that are going to be a lot better than people think that they're going to be. Toronto's still going to be great. I mean, they're not going to win the title again just due to losing one of the best, if not the best players in the NBA. They're going to put up a dogfight, but I think Boston in this hypothetical series would pull it out in 6.
Okay. I have Boston at the 3 as well, going up against Indiana. The best that I could think of with this was the Gordon Hayward versus Victor Oladipo battle for Indiana.
All right.
Okay. Gordon went to Butler in Indiana school. Oladipo obviously is a Hoosier. So,
all right. I get behind that. Yeah. All right, my 4-5 matchup, the Battle of Florida. Miami versus Orlando. 2 teams that both play in a state that is known for many, many things, many interesting stories. Florida man runs rampant through news headlines on a daily basis. And there isn't much from a basketball perspective that I would find overly exciting about this series. But it'd be kind of cool to just see 2 teams from Florida duke it out.
I put Detroit and Orlando because I needed a filler. Let's move on.
All right. So now, in my matchups, I said that Philly was going to advance and then from the 4-5, we're getting Miami to advance. And that is where I'm going to find my Jimmy Bowl. Jimmy's going to get a little crazy. He's going to talk a lot of trash in the second round, and he's going to take an under-talented Miami team and probably deliver them one victory against Philly's supersized lineup. He's going to try to yam it on Embiid at least once, maybe more like 3 or 4 times, and probably not be successful.
All right. I have got the Bucks going up against the Pistons. Last year's first round, but now we get them in the second round. Last year, Blake Griffin gave his all in that series, and the Bucks were just too much.
I like it. I like it. And for me, in the other side of the bracket, I've got Milwaukee facing off against. I may have said that Toronto was going to lose to Boston, but I misspoke. I meant that Toronto was going to defeat Boston in the first round. So Milwaukee and Toronto will meet in the second round, a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Third, I've got Miami and Boston. Sorry. Second round, I've got Miami and Boston. It was rumored for a while that Kyrie Irving wanted to team up with Jimmy Butler, and that was those rumors were part of the reasons why the locker room in Boston kind of started to fall apart. So I just think it'd be fun and interesting to see actually Jimmy Butler and Kyrie Irving's former teammates playing against each other in the second round of the playoffs.
That'd be a fun little dynamic.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. All right, so now we're in the conference finals. I've got Philly going up against Milwaukee. I'm just there for all the Giannis trying to dunk on Embiid every single game. I'm there for all of it, every second of it. I think that'd be a fun series. I think that Embiid would mean mug, Giannis would mean mug, Ben Simmons would take 12-foot jumpers at least once every third game. It'd be a great series. And, I mean, obviously we're not going to talk about the finals, but I think that Milwaukee would actually pull that out just with the balance of their team and how good Giannis is.
All right, my Eastern Conference Finals is actually very plausible, but for the most completely ridiculous reason I put these two in the final. This is the battle of the green jerseys. Who wears it better, the Bucks or the Celtics?
Probably the Celtics, since they've been doing it since the dawn of time. Now that we've laid forth the battles royale that will commence in the Eastern Conference, let's talk a little bit about the West. So in my 1-8 matchup, I've got to go with the Kawhi Feast. The Los Angeles Clippers playing the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay, wait, before you go on, I have the same pick, so we'll just talk about that one in tandem.
All right, let's talk about it. What do you like about it? What would get you excited for that matchup?
I lived in San Antonio for a couple of years, and those people are crazy about basketball.
And they all
Texans
hate Kawhi now.
They all hate Kawhi now. So that would be really fun to see somebody go back to a team that he won a championship with and play against him in the playoffs, to me.
I would love to see Pops scheming to try to take advantage of Kawhi in whatever way he possibly could.
That's true. Who knows him better? Who knows his game better?
And who game plans better? All right. Who do you have for the...
Okay, number 2. I've got the Jazz at number 2. It's kind of a homer pick, but relax. There's a reason behind it. And number 7, Denver.
I did the exact same thing.
Because you want to see the Denver draft picks beat the Denver Nuggets?
I just mostly want to see Rudy smack it out of Joker's hands.
Yeah. So the Jazz will have in the upcoming season 3 players who are all drafted by the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good matchup. I think the Nuggets are really, really, really good. But the thing that really interests me is Rudy seems to have Jokic's number. It's his length. It's the fact that Jokic isn't super athletic. So it'd be interesting to see how Jokic counters and then what the Jazz do offensively to be able to flummox Denver's suspect defense.
I think he almost fouls out or gets ejected out of every game against the Jazz. Yeah. He does not like us.
Yeah. I went to a game last season. He played really, really well, but nobody else on the team did. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun matchup regardless. So maybe we'll have some differences in these next couple picks, but I've got the 3-6 matchup, Houston and Oklahoma City.
We are different.
Oh, wow.
I have Houston, Portland. Yours is much more compelling, though. Let's talk about yours.
Houston, Oklahoma City. We are talking about Russell Westbrook against his old team. We're talking about James Harden against his old team, technically. We're talking about Chris Paul, maybe, if he's still in OKC against his old team. Just the storylines in it would be interesting. It'd be interesting to see how Russ performs and behaves going back to OKC as an opponent. It'd be really interesting to see what Chris Paul tries to do against Russ.
The fun thing about that is the fans are going to love Westbrook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like
The fans will be great.
They're probably going to cheer for Houston.
Admittedly, Houston should beat them pretty handily, but it would still be emotional. It would still be pretty interesting. I mean, Russ is a saint in OKC for as long as he lives. So.
Okay. All right, my number 4 and 5 matchup is the Lakers and the Warriors. Now that KD is gone, can LeBron finally get past the Warriors? Probably. Who do you have?
So I've realized I've made a terrible, horrible mistake in the sense that I didn't include the Warriors in the playoffs. Sorry, Warriors, you're really good. You're going to make the playoffs. But again, like I said, don't hold this against me. I picked the Knicks in the playoffs. I've got the Lakers playing the Pelicans. I want to see 3/5 of the former Pelicans starting lineup play against the new Pelicans. I want to see Drew and Zion and Derek Favors and JJ Redick go up against LeBron, AD, Boogie, Rajon Rondo, the whole gang. I just think that there are so many players on the Lakers that used to be Pelicans that it would be, I don't know, it'd just be a fun series.
And obviously so many players on the Pelicans who used to be Lakers.
Oh, yeah, that is a very good point.
Since they traded their
Lonzo,
whole team.
Ingram, Hart, all those future unnamed draft picks.
Okay, let's hear your second round.
Second round.
We're going with the second round.
So, Battle of LA is what I've got.
Battle of LA, that's what I got.
So, Kawhi's date to the prom versus the lady that Kawhi stood up. The Lakers and the Clippers, the Battle of LA. I mean, the team in the Lakers that have won 16 championships. The whole city is a Lakers town. The little brother that nobody cares about. This Clippers team is really good. It'd be awesome to see them beat the Lakers in LA and reign supreme in LA at least for a year.
I like the divisions that are already happening in LA. Like I read an article today about how an owner of a coffee shop has permanently banned Paul George
and
Kawhi Leonard from his coffee shops. All right, I have Jazz Rockets going up next.
That's what I have as well.
We love our rematches.
We love the rematches.
The Jazz and the Rockets have faced each other each year, last 3 years. Hasn't turned out so well for the Jazz. I think it'll be different this year.
I'm excited for this narrative that the Jazz are an 82-game-a-season team and not a 16-game-a-season team to die. Houston's entire defensive strategy the last 2 seasons has been, let's double Donovan Mitchell, let's cut off Rudy Gobert from his rim runs and let everybody else beat us. We'll give them wide open jump shots. Let's see if anybody can make them.
And last year they couldn't.
Ricky Rubio couldn't make a jump shot to save his life. He didn't play in the season before. Jay Crowder couldn't make a jump shot to save his life. So what did the Jazz do? They traded them out for 3 of the top 20 catch and shoot players in the NBA last season. Mike Conley was 20th. Bogdan Bogdanovic was 7th. And who am I forgetting? We got one other guy that's top 20. Oh, yeah, Joe Ingles is top 20 as well. So we've got 3 top 20 catch and shoot players. I want to see if Houston's little switch, give up jump shots defense that's worked so well last 2 years is going to work against an offense that can actually put the ball in.
Yep.
And it won't.
Finals, I have Lakers Jazz.
I do too. I do as well.
Oh, man.
And
we didn't even need papers.
The reason why is the Lakers and Lakers exceptionalism is a very real thing. I mean, I get it. Lakers fans, you've won more than I could ever imagine. It'll be great to see a team that is filled with fans with extreme exceptionalism to face up against the little engine that could in Salt Lake City. See if we can make some magic happen.
People don't realize this, but there's a lot of history between the Utah Jazz and the Lakers in the playoffs, really dating back from 1988 when the Jazz pushed the championship Lakers to 7 games and everybody was freaking out about who are these guys who are pushing us to the limits. Then we had the
matchups in the 90s when the Jazz beat them to go to the finals.
Jazz swept them that one year with Shaq and Kobe airballing 4 3-pointers in the fourth quarter.
And then we had the years of the Pau Gasol Kobe Lakers that smashed the Jazz in the playoffs in the late aughts, 2007,
like 3 straight
2008,
years.
2009.
So there's actually a lot of history there that would be very compelling to watch again. I can't predict a winner for that series, but I can tell you who I want.
Jazz.
All right, so let us know what you think about our matchup picks. Go ahead and leave us a comment on what matchups you would like to see in the NBA playoffs this upcoming season, and be as ridiculous as you want. If you want to do the Knicks and Hornets, let us know why. Go ahead and give our video a like, hit the subscribe button, and if you want notifications, hit the little bell so that you can know when we upload our next videos.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.